Finland, and Weightlifting, Germany.
Well, a very good morning and welcome to Split in Croatia on the very last day of the 2017 European Weightlifting Championships. Commonwealth Games champion Michaela Breeze with me on what promises to be a really good day of lifting. 3 titles up for grabs: the men's 105, the women's over 90 kilos, a new category, and the super heavyweights with no less than the gold, silver and bronze medalists in the lineup. Well, Michaela, the guys have weighed in a couple of hours ago for this 105 kilo competition, and this should be something to relish, because this is also a talented field with world medalists and silver medalists and bronze medalists at European level. There's the way they weighed in, and as you can see there, the body weights, well, they're not relevant anymore in the sense of determining positions and places. However, always interesting, particularly when we get to the super heavyweights, to see the differentials between the really big boys and those who carry a little less. This is Samvel Gasparyan of Armenia, just 19 years of age, a bronze medalist, and this is Shamatha Buddhic of Poland, Spanish, represented by the junior European champion, as you can see there, Reus. Top 10 for Marci Rossion, and there are 2 Marci Rossians in the lineup, but this man has lived in Austria for the past 11 years. David Bedzanian of Russia, twice a world silver medalist. And then Simon Martirosyan, rising star, Olympic silver medalist from Rio. And then one athlete from Belarus, Audzeev, top 10 in Europe last year. And the under-23 European champion, took that title, Gospodinov in Elat. Arkadiusz Michalski for Poland. Poland double-handed in this European final, and likewise for the Ukraine. Pilipenko and Reva, his teammate. So it's a really good lineup here. The biggest of the entry totals at 400 kilos and the smallest at 380. So that tells you only 20 kilos in a 105 kilo class. That's very competitive. It
really is a competitive category, David. 20 kilos in terms of the entry totals, but looking at the scoreboard, well, the snatch, there's about 10-15 kilos separating all of the lifters, and we've got some pretty impressive performances from a B group as well.
Indeed, and this happened yesterday, and this is the Slovakian Mate Kovac, 170 kilos, 3 good efforts, and in the clean and jerk it was Nenad Kuzic of Serbia, 200 kilos. He didn't make the second and third attempts, but this was good enough to lead in the clean and jerk phase. So those 2 gentlemen are leading in their respective sections of the competition, but I think they'll be quickly surpassed by the A group. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back for the start of the snatch after this.
Just a moment. Samvel Gasparyan, Armenia.
Well, once again, a very good morning. Lovely day in Split in Croatia, but we're in the competition hall, ready for this sort of 105 kilo championship of Europe. Michaela Breeze together with myself, David Goldstrom, and this particular class promises a lot. So I hope that isn't the commentator's curse. If we can get off to some good lifting here, that'll be excellent. And this is Samvel Gasparyan of Armenia, bar at 160 kilos to get us underway. A man who's moved up from last year from the 94 kilo class. First attempt.
really confident opener from Gasparyan of Armenia. Sets the standard now, 160. Still 2 lifters from the B group that have surpassed that from last night. Getting closer. Really solid in the receiving position. Feet quite wide. That is what his hips permit. You want to be able to get into that squat position without any pain in the hips and knees.
It's been a characteristic of these championships all through the week. We've had quite a number of lifters in this new Olympic cycle who are finding new categories. And the man you've just seen there, successful, a former junior European champion at 94 kilos as well. And now the bar being prepared for 165 kilos for the first of the 2 Polish lifters. A new president in the Polish Federation. Won the election back in December, Mariusz Jędra, in the hall to see how his boys do. And this is Shamatha Buddhic, 26 years of age. Got a bronze medal in the Summer Universiad Fizu weightlifting championships, but he was over 105 kilos. He, conversely to the first man, has come down in weight and come down quite a lot of weight.
I've got to point out, just look at the size of those legs. They are powerhouses on their own. That compared to the arms, and it just shows that this sport is not about upper body strength, but very much the power, the explosiveness from the glutes and the quads, and he uses those to great efficiency here.
Now, Mikhaila, he's actually, as I said, come down in body weight. He weighed in at 104.55. Last year, he was lifting at 117 kilos.
Well, he's looking good. He's looking fairly lean.
Well, I think
he clearly hasn't lost the strength in those legs.
No, I think, you know, it must have worked at it to actually...
There's no point in lifting heavy if you're carrying fat. You know, if you can trim up and get lean and maintain the strength, then great.
Mr. Pilipenko for the Ukraine, 165. That's what he wants as well.
Well, in contrast, lacking in the leg department, not quite as explosive through the middle face. The bar should accelerate once it passes the knees. While it does, it's just not enough.
That's the sort of weight that he was lifting successfully as a 105+ kilo lifter a couple of seasons ago. And just as his teammate Konstantin Reva comes onto the stage, just a reminder of the new rules. The body weights don't determine placings anymore. It's all about the guy who gets to the higher weight first, and then whoever follows has to get at least another kilo ahead. And well, he should have got that.
Well,
I should have got that.
Pretty much had it, just lost his balance standing up. This is why some lifters will pause in the receiving position just to steady themselves. And here we can see comfortably landed the weight, no problems there. Starts to stand, maybe should have taken a second at the bottom, but he was right back on his heels.
Wasn't he just? Well, that's expensive first attempts lost, and Gasparyan quickly out again. Now, of course, he was successful 160, so a 5 kilo increase.
Whips the shoulders back a bit short on the extension, but super fast underneath the bar. And that's 2 from 2. 1 attempt remaining. Really good lifting.
Yeah, he's moved himself up into 3rd overall, but still Mate Kovac of Slovakia. 3 good snatch attempts in the B group yesterday. 161, 167, 170. And Vasil Pilipenko now trying to make amends. And
very much the same as the first lift, David.
So, unfortunately, pretty early on in the competition, one man comes under severe pressure.
Well, he gets good extension, but if anything, he's backing away from the bar as he drops underneath. You've got to be committed. Bar must land overhead.
So Reva Ukrainian teammate, same situation for him.
Well, that's a good one. Again, stepping backwards, but he saved it this time.
Yeah, he was a Youth Olympic Games bronze medalist, well, quite a few years back at 85 kilos. Haven't seen that much of him in recent times. But the Ukrainians have done well at these championships. They've brought a pretty strong team. And they sit well in the medal table. Russia leading the way, but Ukraine with 5 golds, 6 silvers and 3 bronze in 3rd place overall.
This to stay in the competition. Must get this.
Come on. Oh, well, that's a relief to him, to his coaches, and I never want to see a lifter go home without a total.
Well, it's tough, you know, when you train for so many weeks, months, years for this moment, for it all to go pear-shaped is a bit of a nightmare. But here he's managed to salvage something, still in the competition.
So just a reminder, the leading weight at the moment is 170. We're getting very close to that. But remember that Kovacs did 170 on his 3rd attempt. So whoever does 170 now has got to do it on a 1st or 2nd attempt to overtake him.
This is where the coaches and lifters need to be ready and prepared, because when there are changes, when lifters decide to increase their weight, you have to be ready, and that's just happened to David Bazanian now.
Yeah, this is an imposing lifter, silver medalist at the World Championships in 2013 and again in 15, European champion back in 2013.
No way.
No, there's a press out there, and he should be able to accomplish that way. That's a very disappointing start for the Russian.
Well,
that was totally unnecessary.
Back on the platform now after a bit of a break, but we see here how strong is he, though, to be able to press that out in the squat position.
Well, that's what I meant. You know, it's ridiculous. I've seen that man impress me time and time again. But now it's Arkadiusz Michalski for Poland, also opening up at 170. Now, this man's been the European runner-up for the past 2 seasons. Last day of the championships. Wonder whether he could sort of emulate Johanna Łokowska, who was so often the bridesmaid, but finally got the title. Decent start.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's taken him into the lead. Same weight as we've seen from Kovac of Slovakia from the B group, but Kovac nailed it on his 3rd attempt. That, however, was a 1st attempt.
So now the Polish teammate, Shamatha Buddhic.
Well, any aspiring weightlifter dreams of having legs this strong and this big. That is the powerhouse of this sport. You can just see how much float he generates on the bar. Slightly forward. Manages to hold it.
New weight category, but pretty good start. Robert Dowenga there with the, well, it's a couple of them with bald heads, but you saw Robert just go off there. He's the man who's putting in the next weight for the lifter.
That's right, 2 coaches. One of them will stay with the lifter to make sure everything's okay. The other will be in charge of changing the weights.
Bazanian. Now, really, come on.
Again, I think he's in trouble.
It might... Well, you're absolutely spot on.
Well, he's pressing out overhead, quite simply. There's not quite enough kick on the bar, not generating enough upward momentum. And this is a man who, at his best, well, I say at his best, maybe somewhat artificially enhanced has hit 190. He's right down here on 170 and struggling. Look at this. Both arms, double press out, no lift.
Yeah, World Championships, snatched 180. Got a bronze medal in 2014. That was 187. I mean, he's regularly around 180. Now, Samvel. Another 5 kilo increase here. Just to keep him in touch with the early starters.
Not quite the power executed through the second phase that was required, but he's content now with 165. Chest high, whips his shoulders back. As a result, the hips will drive forwards, puts a swing on the bar. Very difficult to recover.
Bedzanian has put the bar up to 172 kilos just to give himself a few moments, and that means that Audzeyev of Belarus at the bar at the moment on 171, but I think that's, yes, here we go, change. So 172, and the only person who wants that is David Bedzanian of Russia, although Konstantin Reva wants that now because he's got a third attempt. No, in fact, he's got, a third attempt.
Years ago, bronze medalist in Youth Olympic Games in 2010.
If he lifts this, it'll be another new milestone for him. 20 seconds in which to get the bar moving. Well, we saw this, you highlighted it, didn't you, on both lifters, backing off.
Well, all three of his lifts have been pretty much the same. And then he's right back on his heels as he lands. Why is that? Need the side view really to see, but I think it's because he's whipping his shoulders back, the swing on the bar, and the momentum is taking it backwards. The first one he dropped behind, the second one somehow he held on to, but that one... No, David, no. I'm sorry, but...
Well,
elbows are fine if they stay flexed. You cannot indicate to the referees that your elbows are dodgy when you clearly press it out.
So one of the big players. No, and he's out of the competition. Not totally, but in fact he is out of the competition in respect of the total, but he can, of course, go for the clean and jerk, and that's a big surprise for me. I mean, I know that not all the Russians have lifted but that well, but they still lead the competition table.
Well, he looks a different man, and let's hope that now he's a clean athlete. You know, this maybe is a test of where he realistically should have been over the last few years, but he does not look anything like the lifter we've seen in the past.
Audzeyev. So first attempt at 173. Now this is to go into the overall lead. Represents Belarus. New leader. In recent times, like last year's championships, he collected 180, so 173, but that's a pretty decent start.
It is a pretty decent start. Not the quickest we've seen in terms of lifting, but very, very strong. Very stable in the shoulders. No issues whatsoever. Well done.
So, Shamatha Buddhic onto the stage for his third attempt. Now, of course, if he gets this, once again, under the new rules, he won't go into the lead. No more does body weight count, but he would go into second place, into the silver medal position. Pity.
Maybe a little rushed at the start. As he set himself, then whips the head up. Just going to throw the shoulders back, maybe kick the bar out from the start, but really disappointing. He's quite strong enough for this weight. He leans with the head at the top, doesn't he? That's going to throw the shoulders backwards.
So Michalski for Poland now. This is his second attempt, or will be, 4 kilo increase. Currently in silver medal position. But again, this will just take him a kilo ahead of the Belarusian. Pressure's really on here, isn't it?
Well, the pressure is on. This is a close category, and most of it, well, a good number of the lifters have started their campaign. Those that are yet to begin, well, they're not too far away either. So every lift is important. Every lift is going to count. Consistency is everything.
And that's what we haven't got at the moment, consistency.
Just trying to hold on to it. Shoulders wouldn't take that kind of stress. Best to let go and not hurt yourself.
Started off with 11 lifters, but there's only 10 now who can get a total. And the bar being prepared for Marcos Reus now, representing Spain, the junior European champion of last season. That was in December in Israel, where he snatched 175 kilos. And guess what? The weight is on 175 kilos.
Well, he looks fired up, doesn't he?
So he's trying to pick up from where he left off.
Oh, steady, steady, steady. He's got it. And I think he's saying that to himself as well. Very, very quick under the bar. So we've got very contrasting lifters in this category. Some are a little bit slower, and in that case, lightning quick under the bar.
Well, that's the sort of commitment you were referring to a few moments ago. But the Spanish, interesting, you know, we've always really associated them with the lighter classes, but interesting to see a lifter of this caliber in the competition. And now Gospodinov. Opening attempt, 175 kilos. Representing Bulgaria. Put in one of the high entry totals at 400 kilos.
Well, using every inch of the bar, a tall guy. And you can see the receiving position, hands as wide as they will possibly go. And he needs that. He's got an unfair advantage, greater distance for the bar to travel. So he's compensating by adapting his grip. Really good position for such a tall guy.
I know the body weights don't count for placing, but just it happens to be a fact that he weighed in at 103.35, so the lightest of the class pretty well. And now Michalski for his third and final attempt at 175. Reus of Spain leading the way. And that, I'm afraid, anchors him in fourth place. And the two lifters who've yet to start, the Marci Rossion boys. One from Armenia, one from Austria.
Just look at this, very laboured kind of lift. It's not explosive, he's not really attacking the bar. He looks tired, he looks as if he's dropped quite a bit of body weight.
So Adzeyev now for Belarus. He did have the advantage about 5 minutes ago. Now this is a 3 kilo increase, 176 to put him back into the gold medal position.
Oh, on his toes off the floor. As soon as the bar, he'd lost that before it even got to his knees. As soon as he came off the floor, he rocked forwards. See if we can. Very difficult to see from that angle, the technical problems. We need a side view.
Yeah. So the bar at 176. And just looking at Saugus Martirosyan, yet to start. His opening weight is 180, and Simon Martirosyan 185. So Alzef out again. He needs a bit more fire in this as well, doesn't he?
Well, he needs to attack through the middle. As the bar passes the knees, we should see a change in speed.
I'm pleased for him.
Yeah, really good lifting. As I said, not the quickest, but super strong. Knew exactly where the bar was going overhead, corrected the error from the second attempt, and he's now in the lead.
Yes, he has a kilo advantage over Marcos Reus of Spain and Gospodinov of Bulgaria. Still the two Marcirosyans. And this is interesting, Saugus Martirosyan has just dropped a kilo, coming in at 179. Saugus, now he's not related. Martirosyan's quite a popular name in Armenia, but this man has lived in Vienna for the past 11 years. Got a bronze medal in the snatch in Europe last year. So 179 to take a 3 kilo lead. Ten seconds.
See just how wide his hands are. We're trying to maximise the distance for the bar to travel. Doesn't want it going unnecessarily high. That's why he's gone so wide. Quick under the bar, just cannot hold on to it. Shoulders under serious amount of stress. Safely to let go.
Two more attempts. But Reus of Spain, 181. That's his next entry moment. Gospodinov, 180. And Simon Martirosyan of Armenia, 185. So Saugus has got to follow himself.
Or is he? He's got to be going up because he was walking across the warm-up room away from the platform.
It was a mini milestone for him last year when he got the bronze medal in the snatch. It was his first senior championship medal and a rare one for Austria.
Well, it looks like he's going to be gambling everything to try and get with the medals.
So, Gospodinov, second attempt, 180, 5 kilo advance, representing Bulgaria. The European under-23 champion of last season is progressing.
Well, he's catapulted himself up into the lead. Still one attempt remaining, but he's really pumped up for this. Great extension, good speed under the bar. Controlled aggression.
Just shows you how important that first attempt was to come in at 175 and give him the sort of springboard to move forward as he would wish. Spain looking to take the lead away from Gospodinov. Just the 1 extra kilo, but that's enough at this moment. And this is Reus's second attempt.
Well, Spain have found a talented young man here.
Yeah,
He's getting in amongst it, isn't he?
Yeah, like to see this from the side. And Reus.
Well, very hard to see.
Yeah, I don't really need to see. Yeah, I mean, this is
Puts
again.
his shoulders back a long way.
Yeah, it's not the best angle. I mean, it's the side-on angle that we really need. So Saugus Martirosyan, you can see he's put the bar up a couple of kilos. As you said, he seems determined enough to get into the medals. This is his best half of the competition. So I do understand what he's got in his mind. So this for the lead.
Well, now he's in trouble. That's 2 failed attempts. 179. He's gambled. He's gone up 2 kilos. Failed the 181. 1 attempt remaining to stay in the competition. But in contrast, the first one went behind. This one, well, struggling to get right underneath it, slightly in front. Bar so close to his head as well. The bar is not allowed to touch your head.
So Reus wants the same weight. Now, he was very close to getting the second attempt.
This time sits back on it, takes the weight off his legs, can't get the maximum height on the bar. Well, that's a shame. He's currently down in 3rd place, but we still have Shamatha Buddhic of Armenia to start his campaign. Yeah, whips the shoulders a long way back, leaves the bar out in front. So, Saugus Martirosyan of Austria. Well, 3rd attempt, needs this now to stay in the competition, which is a critical lift. Missed 179, missed 181. Here he is again, same weight.
Come on, come on, come on. Oh, talk about saving the day.
Well, what an effort to stand. My goodness me, that took absolutely everything he had in the legs just to stand with the weight, but it catapults him up into the lead. Still 2 lifters left with attempts. Well, he's guaranteed himself a medal in the snatch. Look how close the bar is to his head, super stable in the shoulders. Brilliant lifting from Saugus Martirosyan of Austria.
Yeah, the last gasp saloon. But as I said, you know, this is where he got his medal last year in the snatch division. And he won't prosper so much in the clean and jerk. So Gospodinov now, 183. And still, of course, Shamatha Martirosyan to actually start. He's just been waiting in the wings. He's got 3 attempts. The bar will go to 185 for his opener. But this is to take the Bulgarian, Gospodinov. 2 good attempts ahead of Martirosyan. Well, Martirosyan, that's Saugus, has now got the silver medal. Because the other Martirosyan is the only one who can overtake him.
That's right. We'll see on the replay, he just drops his chest or lets his backside lift as he comes off the floor, and that pulls him onto his toes. Before the bar got to the knees, that lift had been determined.
So, Simon Martirosyan. Young, improving, only 20, representing Armenia, the Olympic silver medalist from Rio.
Well, fairly comfortable lifting.
And with one blow, goes to the top of the table, takes the gold medal with 2 more attempts to come. And he did, in fact, drop a kilo. That was 184.
Well, he dropped a kilo because he didn't need the 185. So he's first of all done the absolute correct thing, secured the gold. Just look at the start position, his feet very, very wide. Well, that for him is the most powerful leg drive position.
And that's the state of play there. Martirosyan, that's Saugus, guaranteed the silver medal. As you can see, Gospodinov for Bulgaria, the bronze. But things could change quite a bit in the clean and jerk. And the bar's gone to 190. This is the weight that Simon Martirosyan lifted in the Olympic Games. And he has, in the not too distant past, actually snatched 187 kilos. Sorry, I beg your pardon, I'm getting ahead of myself. He has actually lifted 183, so just looking at 190 here.
Well, in terms of the competition, David, looking ahead at the starting weights for the clean and jerk, he does have the biggest starting weight. So rather than taking just 2, 3, 4 kilos between first and second attempts here in the snatch, he's decided that he's in command and he's going to go for this 190. So just over a minute left on the clock.
Yeah, just to correct myself, apologies for the confusion there. The 190 that he achieved in the Olympics and that he's going for now is a personal best. No Armenian, by the way, has ever won this particular weight class at European level. So he's giving himself a great chance here. This is only his second attempt and he could go further. He could really put some distance between himself and the rest of the field. Just a little look at the clock to see that he's got the half minute in hand. One more go.
Well, a small setback in his ambitions here at this European Championships. I'm sure he'd have been wanting to have a go something a bit heavier, but really he needs to stay on this weight and try and secure it. Good extension, not too much wrong with that from this view. Fine line between success and failure when it's going out the back.
You see, I wouldn't put Saugus Martirosyan in as a medal favourite in the clean and jerk. So if he was to make this, effectively he'd be 10 kilos ahead of Gospodinov of Bulgaria.
Remember, the one lifter who bombed on the snatch, David Badzanian of Russia, well, he can still contend for the medals in the clean and jerk, but won't be eligible for a total. That may open the door for Saugus Martirosyan. We'll have to wait and see.
Well, I think there are a number of possibilities. You know, even the young Spaniard, you know, who's improving fast, Marci Reus. It'd be interesting to see what he can actually put down. And, you know, with Bedzanian's departure from the competition in the sense of getting a total, it has opened the door up, certainly for the fight, well, arguably at this stage for all 3 medals, but it certainly has given 1 or 2 people a better chance in terms of silver and bronze. So, Simon Martirosyan, the last lift of the first half of this 105 kilo Championship of Europe. And this, 190 to take a 9 kilo advantage over his namesake. Armenia versus Austria. It's not to be, and well, he's left on 184 kilos, so the field is tighter than we expected.
Well, watch the replay here. You'll see he just rocked slightly onto his toes off the floor, nearly lost it forwards, then overcompensated, and as a result, consequently went behind. Right back on his heels there. What a shame.
Well, he's one of the youngest. There are three young men. Gasparian, 19. Marcus Reus, 20 years of age. And Marci Rossion, also 20 years of age. So it hasn't quite had the spark I expected, unfortunately.
It hasn't had the spark, but to be fair, the medals have been won probably by those that are there or thereabouts. I think the clean and jerk now will come down very much to consistency.
So we're going to go into the break now. There's the state of play on the screen there. An awful lot of red. Disappointment in that regard. And you can see this was a big class, but no longer. David Bezanian, one of the favourites, able to go for a total. Well, welcome back. Ricardo, as they say, you can only beat the people who are in front of you. And, well, that's exactly what Simon Martirosyan has done. But I suppose from our point of view, it's still quite a close competition. Let's have a look at the best of the snatch phase, picking up with the second attempt of Vasil Gospodinov for Bulgaria. 175 was good. This was 180.
Yes, and completely fired up for this second attempt was Gospodinov. As you can see, 180 on the bar. Well, this was a really comfortable lift. Worked hard for it. Unfortunately missed the 183 on his third attempt, but that 180, well, that's good enough for the bronze.
And really on fire. Results for you to see. And
181, please. Marcos Ruiz.
Of course, the man in second place, well, he's pulled it out of the fire as he did last year. Saugus Martirosyan, 179, 181, and then he got it on the third attempt.
Yeah, risky business, missing his first two, but this was a really strong attempt, and just check out how tough this is to stand up with. Solid in the shoulder stability, really working hard in the legs to stand.
Yeah, he absolutely fought for this and deserved to get that third attempt. So here you can see the effort. Really pushing for this. And it will have taken a heck of a lot of energy out of him, I'll tell you that, but he's got the medal.
182 kilograms.
And of course, at that particular point, Mikhailo, he was in the bronze medal position.
Yeah, it was a lift that he had to get. Just such a fight to stand with. He did so well to hold on to it.
And so to Simon Martirosyan. So Simon, well, at 20 to have an Olympic silver medal in your collection is pretty special, I have to say. He was a junior world champion at plus 105 kilos. But this is where I think he belongs, in the 105 kilo category.
So 184 on his first attempt. This was the only lift that he got. He was quite ambitious with the 190, missed it twice on his second and third. Well, has to be content with the 184, but he's in the lead and he's got a strong clean and jerk to look forward to.
Second attempt, второй подход.
So that's how the first half of the competition unfolded. We've still got the best part of 2.5 minutes before the start of the clean and jerk, so we're going to take a little break and then we'll be back for that. So 2 minutes remaining for the early starters to get themselves in shape. Well, just in time for the first attempt in the clean and jerk. Michaela Breeze alongside myself, David Goldstrom. The bar being loaded to 195 kilos for the first attempt of Mikhail Aldzeev of Belarus. Fourth at the halfway stage in the snatch. And just to remind you about the clean and jerk position, the best man in the B group yesterday was Nenad Kuzic of Serbia, 200 kilos. So that is the leading weight. The leading total is 360 kilos.
Stop. This is too big difference between announced total and first attempt.
So there's been a confusion here. The announcer has asked Aldzeev to come off the platform. They have not loaded the bar correctly. There was only 195 on the bar. Now they've put the 198. Aldzeev now needs to recompose. Out he comes again. This time the correct weight is on the bar. 198 in his first attempt.
First attempt total must be minimum 371.
So 198 for Aldzeev. No time problem here. He's still got over 30 seconds.
Ooh, it's the struggle to arm's length, but he's got it there.
Yeah, that was a good lift. 3 white lights coming his way. Total achieved 374 kilos. Into the lead.
Second attempt, Marci Rossion.
Well, just a little bit soft, lacking in the legs on the drive to arm's length. But he's got it there, and that's all that matters. Bar's now gone to 199 for him. He won't be taking that. The bar's going to go up.
Going back in time, last year's champion was the Latvian Artūrs Plesniks in Forde, totaled up 403 kilos. Bartolomew Bonk of Poland won this in Tbilisi in 2015. And then there was a run of Russian victories from 2011. Akayev, then Bedzanian, who's failed to get a good snatch attempt in. He won in 2012 and again in 2013. Andrei Domanov in 2014. And the Russians have been really the most prolific of winners in this weight class over the years, going back to 1998 when these weight categories were re-established. And so Pilipenko now for the Ukraine. Pilipenko down in 11th place at the halfway stage.
Well, I'm not sure. That looked a bit dodgy in the elbows to me. See what the referees decide. Well, he's got it 2-1.
See what the jury make of that.
Jury are not moving.
No.
Content that that was a good lift. So if we watch the arms, so the clean was absolutely fine, no problems there. Watch the elbows. Oh, soft. It's not a great lockout. I think maybe the fact that he turned slightly sideways may have helped him there.
So now Buddhic for Poland to open his account. Buddhic in 7th place, bringing forward 170 kilos. Just bearing in mind that Saugus Martirosyan had 184 kilos, so he's 14 kilos behind the half-time leader. Buddhic coming down to this weight class. So is he still as strong as he was as a over 105 kilo lifter?
Well, very good overhead. Times it to perfection. Notice the dip and the drive, well, they were not very big. You don't have to dip low. The lower you dip in preparation for the jerk, the more likely you are to drop your chest and your hips come out. But here we can see the clean, very, very good. And the dip, very short.
Reus for the Ukraine. So gets off to a better start than he did in the snatch phase.
Really confident opening attempt. Just a couple of tips here from the coach. Something to do with the starting position. The clean, no problems at all. Splits nice and evenly. Just step back there to get his balance, but splits nice and evenly to get his body underneath the bar. So he's got a change of weight right now. Marci Rossion is looking like he's ready and poised to come onto the platform for his opening attempt. 203 kilos now. This to add to his 175 would be enough to put him up into the lead.
Now I'm really interested to see how this young man gets on. We'll learn a lot about him now in these 3 attempts, Mikhailo. Junior champion of Europe last season.
Oh, no. Shame. Not quite enough drive there. Pushed it out in front or pushed himself back from it, whichever way you want to look at it.
Did 206 on his way to the Junior European title. That was in December, so...
Well, there's a big talent coming through the Spanish ranks. He's still so young, his senior debut. Watch here, pushes himself away from the bar. Never quite underneath. If you draw a line directly down from the bar, it's in front of the shoulders.
Adzaev, bar going up to 203 kilos for the current leader. 5 kilo increase. At this body weight, this should be well within his range.
Oof. Well, he dipped and split. There was hardly any drive at all. It's the drive that's going to get the bar off the shoulders. There's no point in dipping and driving back to that start position. You've got to drive or explode through where you start. You see here now, from this position, he does not drive hardly at all. trying to lift it with his upper body. It's too heavy for that.
So Reus out to try and get this second attempt. Remember, he needs this to get a total. 2:03 for the second time. Alzaev, the early leader, total 3:74. Buddhic in second place, 3:71. That's a slightly better clean.
It's in front again. Tries to run underneath it, ends up losing it behind. Well, under pressure now is Marci Rossion of Spain. 2 failures, 1 to go.
Well, I hope he gets the third one.
Well, this is his senior debut, and he really is a promising talent for the future. Almost there. You can see, very difficult to recover. He's a tall guy. Any staggering is going to cause a lot of movement on the shoulders and the elbows.
Gets tougher, though. Third attempt, less energy, less petrol in the tank. But now Alzaev out. Now, he missed 2:03. He's going for 2:03, so 5 kilo increase here to take him to 3:79, which would be his finishing total for this morning. Just about.
He looked to me to hold it on bent arms, but no press out, which means it's a good lift.
So he finishes on 3:79. Let me put that in context. He finished ranked 8th in Europe last year when he totaled up 3:81. So I think he'll be a little bit disappointed.
He will, but if you look at this from a technical point of view, he really needs to move the feet a bit wider, drop his body weight a bit lower, and then he's got a good few more kilos there.
Right. This is the moment that you get on side every lifter when they face this potential of not getting a total.
Better, needs to stand still.
And he has done. I think they'll just about
he's
give him.
okay.
Yeah. I wasn't quite sure how still he was, actually, but...
He got the buzzer, so as long
Yeah.
as he gets the buzzer, that means the referees are happy. They've all made their decision. If he hasn't stood still, he won't get the down signal.
And that-
Clean was hard. And you see here, really works for the jerk. Much better position overhead, down through the shoulders, hips are underneath. Bit wobbly. That's partly due to how tall he is. Great effort from Reus to save the day.
So he ends on 378 kilos. Silver medal position at this particular moment in time. 378. Well, that's 3 kilos down on what he achieved. Oh, hang on.
I'm just looking here. The
Jury has stopped.
Oh.
Well, they've cancelled the lift.
Well,
Need to see a replay.
I'm really
Hang on.
not sure on this.
Now, what are the... Well...
There's a big booze coming from the crowds here. Arms are good. Arms are good. Well, forgive me, but I completely think that was a completely wrong call from the jury. And he's been robbed from a total there.
Yeah, it was marginal for me whether he actually was still.
But he wouldn't have got this decision to put it down. That's the referee's fault for telling him to put it down.
Indeed. Decent opener there by Gasparian, Samvel Gasparian. And the Armenian is on his way, one of 2 Armenians, of course, in the competition. You can see the total there, 370, up into 4th place.
Really solid overhead. Watch this jerk. Doesn't move his feet very wide. Good drive to arm's length.
So, having snatch victory out of the jaws of defeat. Saugus with his silver medal from the snatch phase now. Now this is his weaker discipline, but he's opening up at 205 kilos nonetheless. Representing Austria.
Fighting to hold it, and he does.
And gets his total. Well, I could see him going to 210, but that would be a decent achievement. But Saugus Martirosyan, with that good effort, takes himself into, as Mikhail said, the overall lead. 386 kilos for the Austrian.
See that position there, almost holding it slightly in front. Very strong in the shoulders to do so.
Second in the clean and jerk rankings. That's because the first man to lift 205 was Gasparian of Armenia. And Buddhic now lying in third place. And this is a 5 kilo increase. This would take him to 376, which wouldn't really change anything overall, but what it would do is put him in the lead in the clean and jerk.
Oh, he's on his, I was going to say he's on his backside there, on his heels. That's what I meant to say. It looks like he's tweaked something as well in the knee. Let's hope he's okay. Let's have a look, see what happens here. Lands it. Swing on the bar has knocked him backwards. Can't quite steady himself. Simple as that. It's all about timing with this sport. You want to be landing the weight and driving straight out of that clean position. Hits him hard, knocks him backwards.
So Buddhic, just looking at the board here, is going to have to follow himself. And of course there are still lifters to start. Simon Martirosyan, Gospodinov, Michalski and Bedzanian, who can't get a total, but he could perhaps get a clean and jerk gold medal even. And Simon Martirosyan, the half-time leader, 225 for his opener. Gospodinov, 220. Michalski, 210. Bedzanian, 215. But we're at 207 at the moment for Shamatha Buddhic to come out here and try this third attempt. Somewhat of a muddling competition, really, isn't it? Because not that many lifters have been making the lifts. I mean, you're looking at sort of 1s and 2s out of 3s. When you look at the scoreboard here, I mean, the first half of the competition, nobody got 3 out of 3.
Got to ask why that is. Maybe it's the time of day. Most of these lifters will probably be doing double sessions, so they'll be used to training in the morning. And we've just started here today, what, 11 a.m? It's not overly early. They should have been up, firing on all cylinders by now.
It's fair to say, though, that your metabolism is probably more effective in the afternoon. But this is Pilipenko at 208. Ooh, stand still. The helicopters, central referee. That's central referee. That's Annalisa Di Sogra of Italy, wasn't satisfied.
No, the clean was good, no problems at all. The jerk, I saw it to arm's length. He's absolutely fine there.
Yeah, it's just a little shoulder movement. So Reus now already out on the stage here for his second attempt. So Pilipenko and Reus looking much better, the two Ukrainians, in this second half of the competition. Clearly the clean and jerk is more their cup of tea. Reus behind his teammate, but interestingly enough, he's behind his teammate because he's lifted the same weights, but he's lifted them after his teammate. So Pilipenko currently third overall, leading in the clean and jerk. Reus fourth overall, second in the clean and jerk, and that's under the new rules and regulation system. So Buddhic, third and final attempt now, 7 kilos to add. This would take him to 378, will put him back into third overall.
He's hurt himself, hasn't he?
Yes, he has.
We saw it on the second attempt. He was limping off and not comfortable at all there. You have to be content with the 101 from the first attempt, but at least he has a total.
So Poland now reliant upon this man, Arkadiusz Michalska. Only 1 out of 3 attempts in the first half of the competition. Looking for 210 kilos to add to the 170. 380, obviously, so this would zoom him into second place overall. And 210 would, of course, also put him into the lead in the clean and jerk.
Oh, nice. Opening attempt, 210, absolutely no issues there from Michalski. Poland.
Polish president off to my left in the hospitality area. Up on his feet for every Polish lifter with his video camera. Good to see that sort of involvement, that sort of support from the man at the top.
Yeah, it's nice when you've got support across the board.
Now, Gasparian, Samuel Gasparian for Armenia. This is a 5 kilo increase. This would take him to second place in the clean and jerk. And would move him up to fourth overall. Well, he's learning a new category, moved up from 94 kilos, and this has been a useful morning for him, now afternoon, as we're past midday.
Really aggressive in nature. Big drive now, just about catches it at arm's length, has to recover back foot first, slightly off balance. It doesn't matter, it's a good lift.
Saugus Martirosyan now. This, I think, is a big question. You're looking at the current leader. Now, he has done this weight. And I'll be very pleased for him, and he'll be very satisfied himself if he does this. Still 25 seconds in hand. Big moment. Was where I was concerned, Mikhailo, whether he had the strength to actually put that bar overhead.
Well, if you watch the replay, you'll see that he tries oscillating the bar as well. To me, that looked like he mistimed the oscillation. It's not allowed anyway. Clean, was aggressive, stood well. And here, the bar's whipping. It should have come to a rest by now. Just pushes himself away from it. Never underneath the bar.
The Austrians, as I mentioned, they don't have great lifters very often, as you see the state of play. Of course, they had Matthew Steiner, who was an Austrian.
Steiner, yeah.
And
disappointingly was one of the athletes that's been banned since the new testing.
Yeah, because he went from Austria to Germany, Matthias, because he didn't feel that there was the level of support and expertise to take him up to another level. Then he goes and wins the Olympic Games. So Shigishev, who was the benefactor of that, the Russian. But, of course, Matthias, he only got that Olympic gold medal. He didn't go again and spent the rest of his time being a superstar on chat and reality shows.
And has since had it stripped back from him.
I wonder what he would say if our plan to get athletes to repay their earnings were applied retrospectively. So Saugus now, 2:10. I'd really, really like to see him get this.
Seconds.
Come on. Needs a shout.
And it needs to commit now, needs to be under the bar.
I don't think that was close to his windpipe. I think that just went out of his head.
No, I think that was on his windpipe. You could just see it in his eyes as he stood back. Really difficult when you've got that amount of pressure on your shoulders. There's not much you can do when the world around you starts closing in and all you see is darkness. Yeah, you can just see it in the lack of control of the legs as he walks off.
So Marci Rossion still in the lead on 386, but he truly is vulnerable now in terms of hanging on to an overall medal. Pilipenko saved the day on the third attempt in the snatch, but looks much better here.
And again, well, there must be some dizziness going on that platform right now. There's literally nothing you can do as a lifter when you start to see black. It's just not safe to carry on with the lift. You're better off dropping it rather than hurting yourself. This is simply because the clean is taking so much out of these guys, making it very difficult to breathe and get the oxygen in.
Yeah, and only a lifter who's actually had that experience. Do you have that?
I often, particularly in training. Just hope it doesn't happen on the platform, but if it does, there's nothing you can do.
So Gospodinov now, and Gospodinov to open up on 2:12. The man who has already got a bronze medal, this Bulgarian, from the first half of the competition, brings forward 180 kilos. That's only 4 kilos off Saugus Martirosyan, the leader at halfway. Very deep and almost buried.
Very good overhead. Well, we talk often about lifters who do a lot of high pulls, a lot of shrugging as part of their training. Well, this man clearly does, and it reflected in the way that he lifts, hanging on to the bar at the top of the extension, at the top of the pull, if you want. And then as a result, it's a race between him and the bar to hit the bottom. Well, at this time, the bar hits him. He only just made it. Timing far from ideal on the clean. However, overhead, very, very solid. No problems there.
All of that said, in the lead, 392. He's now, by 2 kilos, surpassed what he did in Førde in Norway last year when he finished 6th in the Europeans. And now back to Armenia. And the last opportunity for Gasparian of Armenia to impress. Just a 2-kilo increase here to take him to 377. This would put him up to silver in the clean and jerk rankings. It's not going to make a deal of difference overall. But that said, as he sort of limps off, I wonder how he'll sum up his first experience as a 105-kilo lifter.
Well, the Armenians have strength and depth here, don't they? If it wasn't for how good Saugus Martirosyan is, his teammate, this guy might get a bit more credit back in Armenia. Very talented young man.
Now, out onto the stage, David Bedzanian of Russia, a two-time winner of this European Championship title in 2012 and 2013, but all at sea and simply not looking like a competitor in the snatch phase. But 213, what he played with that.
Well, he should be playing with that. His best is 242. I mean, he did, I believe, set a world record, didn't he? Before he got caught. So this man is a man who's been very comfortable with much, much bigger weights. Clearly way down on anything he's done before. Kind of looking normal.
But then again, it is a fact, Mikhailo, that, you know, if you have taken drugs and you're disqualified and you come back, but you have muscle memory, there's still a benefit left in your body.
Oh, absolutely. He's trained for God knows how many years, abusing the system. So he's had the chance to build the strength and his body to get to those kind of weights. Now he's hopefully clean. It just makes it easier to get back to these kind of weights. So still not a level playing field by any means.
So Bedzanian quite possibly in for a medal in the clean and jerk. Bedzanian, by the way, has just put 10 kilos on.
He's dreaming.
Yeah, well, he's
he?
playing. Reus.
Nice. A really good lifting from Reus. And I said David Bedzanian dreaming. Well, actually, no, he's not. When I saw him break the world record, I think he put about 12 or 15 kilos on to do it, which was what made it so unbelievable. So no, he's not playing. He's absolutely serious.
What's interesting about the new rules, I'll come to that in a second. In fact, I'll wait till after Mr. Michalski has done his lift.
Oh, I don't know. I think definitely his right arm was a press out there.
That was pretty easy to spot, and that, at the moment, leaves him down in fourth place.
So, clean is good, clean is strong. Definite press out on the left as we look at it. His right arm. So, onto the stage now. Gospodinov of Bulgaria. This is his second attempt, 5 kilos up from the 212 that he's already successfully achieved. He's in the lead. This to extend it. And he's done well. The timing was better. So good overhead in the jerk phase. You can see just how much that means to the Bulgarian lifter. Gospodinov over the moon with that 2:17. Well, why? Because that is almost certainly going to be a medal overall. We still have Martirosyan of Armenia to open his campaign. There's nobody else. Really, are they going to get close to him? Well,
yeah, I think the other thing is when you look at his figures, you know, 6 in Europe last year, 390. He's now got a total of 397 in the World Championships in Houston, 368. So he really is improving, Gospodinov. And now Michalski coming out for 2:17 as well, lying at the moment in 4th place. This is his 3rd and final attempt. This would take him to 387. So this will put him into 2nd place at the moment, ahead of Marci Rossion, but behind Gospodinov.
well, great lifting.
Yeah, that's a good recovery.
Well, these guys are training so hard for this moment, and they have dreams of winning a medal. And that he's just done. Remember, David Bedzanian, while he's playing for medals on the clean and jerk, he's out of the running for the overall. So this Michalski guarantees him a place on the podium.
But the statistics say it all, you see. This is a very good lift. He does it with aplomb, but the reality is he's only made 3 out of 6. And, you know, that just about gets him there. But it's not going to be good enough for the gold.
Well, Gospodinov has gone from that 2:17 that he was over the moon with up to 2:30. He's not going to be coming out on that. He's forcing the other lifters in first.
There's the state of play in the clean and jerk. And Bedzanian's come off that 2:23 to 2:21. Marci Rossion about to appear on stage now at 2:20. So the half-time leader, 184, had 2 opportunities to put himself as many as 10 kilos ahead of his closest pursuer. Didn't capitalise, or wasn't able to capitalise. So this is very important. He gets this first attempt to re-establish himself. The Olympic silver medalist from Rio.
I don't know. Double arm press out, what do you reckon, David?
Well, I like that split decision. I might have gone the other way, but 2-1 against. That means that now he is under pressure because Gospodinov's still got 1 more attempt.
Now, well, let's look at the replay. No issues at all with the clean. Watch both elbows, I thought I saw.
Yeah, you're right. As ever.
And he would have felt it as well, so I don't know why his coaches are coming out the front asking the questions. Go and ask your athlete, he'll know. He would have felt it.
Well, it's not a sport like golf, is it? You know, when you're on the putting green, and you'll see golfers do this all the time, or on the snooker table. Also, if they happen to just nudge a ball incorrectly, they put the hand up straight away. But that doesn't happen in weightlifting.
No, if you can get away with it, you will.
Yeah. Gospodinov there, 397. Handsome number of kilos. And there he is, looking pretty satisfied.
But he's still got 1 attempt remaining, Gospodinov.
Still breathing pretty hard.
He's just trying to stay limber, trying to stay loose and relaxed. Is he going to come out again? That's the question.
It would be the first Bulgarian title of these championships.
Well, he's going to be watching anxiously in the hope that Martirosyan cannot complete this lift, but I think he will. He's very, very strong, is Simon Martirosyan of Armenia. Fired up as well.
But he's nowhere until he lifts this.
Well, no mistake this time.
Yeah, that was absolutely solid. The arms locked out as required. And the 220 kilos now can be applied. He's got 404 kilos, and he is now sitting 7 kilos ahead of Vasil Gospodinov of Bulgaria. Arkadiusz Michalski in third place, 387, and Saugus Martirosyan in fourth. So now you can see how important that 2:10 was for Saugus Martirosyan. If he'd have got that, he would have got an overall medal. But David Bedzanian looking for the consolation prize of the clean and jerk gold. So gets this, goes into the lead by a kilo.
It was a struggle. It's okay though. Power jerks doesn't quite sink into a full spot jerk. He'll make the next one better as well. That wasn't a limit, he was just slightly out of position. So clean, stands no problem. Jerk here, dips forwards on this jerk. He's chasing it, but he does well to steady himself.
So Gospodinov, well, he knows what a big moment this is for him. He doesn't have to worry about Bedzanian, that's irrelevant. All he has to worry about is Martirosyan. And there's a window of opportunity because Martirosyan failed at 2:20 at the first attempt. So these two boys have only got one attempt left. And Gospodinov, well, this is a gutsy call here because he's going for 8 kilos increase. And he needs that to go to 405 to get that extra kilo to win, or at least put himself into the lead and then have a chance of the title. So if he gets this, he goes into the lead. If he doesn't, Simon Martirosyan will have, by virtue of his second attempt, got the title, and Martirosyan it is. I wonder whether he just overthought that, but
He was way too pleased with his previous attempt to add another 8 kilos. Well, he at least came out onto the platform, but I never thought for one moment he'd get that. Psychologically, never believed it.
Well, what you've got to say, though, is excellent performance from him.
Absolutely, he's come away with a silver medal, 4 out of 6 lifts. That one a little unrealistic. Only one error on the snatch, but he's done as well as he possibly could have done here.
And that's the under-23 champion of Europe from December, and that's a big advance for him. So Simon Martirosyan, Armenia, he's got the title. He's got 404 kilos. He's put 10 kilos on the bar here to go to 414. So this is very much a personal ambition.
Forwards, can he save it? Yes, he can.
And this is going to be really impressive because Simon Martirosyan, 414, it's a very decent total that he's achieved there to win the Championship of Europe. That's only 3 kilos down on what he did in the Olympics.
That's a really good effort, a really good recovery, considering he missed his opening attempt. Had to fight this one, and he is the champion.
And a double European champion because he won the super heavyweight title. And now Bedzanian to go for the clean and jerk gold. 231. So again, because Martirosyan went to 230, he's got to do the extra kilo. At the moment, in the clean and jerk, he lies in silver medal position. No, not to be. And David Bedzanian has to be satisfied with the silver medal in the clean and jerk. And he certainly today doesn't look like the all-conquering athlete of 3-4 years ago. So at the end of this 105 kilo contest, it is Armenia who take the gold medal. And that's Shamatha Martirosyan, 184, 230 for 414. Vasil Gospodinov for Bulgaria. Athletes of the competition, really, in the way that he's improved. 180, 217, 397. 10 kilos ahead of Arkadiusz Michalski of Poland. 170, his only good lift in the snatch phase. And then 210 and 217, 387. With Saugus Martirosyan on 386. Should he have gone for 210? If he'd gone for 208 or 207, he's still, you know...
It's all irrelevant, David. You play the scoreboard, you play the competition as it is and as it unfolds.
Yeah, but the reality was that he was maybe just a bit too greedy. Because if you actually, you know, look at his... He missed 210 on his second attempt, and then had the third attempt. He could have gone 207,
yeah, but
208.
he wanted more. He wanted more, simple as that. And he did what he felt he could, and it didn't pay off.
Well, confirmation there of the clean and jerk results. And the gold to Shamatha Martirosyan, Bedzanian of Russia getting the silver, Gospodinov the bronze. Well, we've still got some great lifting. I'm really looking forward to the super heavyweights at 5 o'clock Central European time. We're going to take a little break and then the medal ceremonies, but there is the confirmation of the overall results. Armenia, Bulgaria, Poland and Austria, frustratingly, in 4th place. Back for the presentations after this.